All right, so expired listings, okay? Um, Obviously, this could be a huge part of your business. Um, some people, this is the only thing they do, okay? The reason why a lot of people, this is the only thing they focus on because it's pretty much low hanging fruit, essentially, and it's a targeted market, okay? We already pretty much identified these people are trying to sell their house. They're already willing to pay a agent commission, but for whatever reason, the realtor that they first originally hired could not sell the house for could be a couple of reasons. Okay, um, so their loss is essentially could be our gain. Okay, so the expired listing or the draw listing, it could be a couple of different things. Whether it's the realtor got fired, something an emergency happened with the seller, and they had to change their mind on what they have going on. Okay. In the listing business, like this is gonna be huge, okay? Because it's probably the easiest way to find listings. So let's jump into why properties sometimes don't sell and they go expired, okay? Most of the time, honestly, especially in a hot market like this, a lot of times it's because the agent overpriced the property or the seller wanted an overpriced property and the agent just took it, okay? Especially in this day, like it's kind of hard for properties to go expired. The only time, most of the time, is about 80% of the time is because the property is just way overpriced or overpriced to the point where nobody was really interested in it. Okay, so this is a big thing. If and for you guys, when you guys do get listings and things aren't selling, like you guys should be actively trying to get price decreases with your current clients. Okay, just a side tip. So one reason, overpriced listings. Two, agents not take professional pictures. I'm sure you guys have seen listings on the MLS that the pictures are just horrible. Okay. Um, if the seller's gonna pay us a full 5 or 6% commission, let's take the extra $200 to sorry about that. The extra $200, $300 to get professional pictures. It's gonna make a huge difference when you're trying to market this property. Because remember, like nowadays, like the professional nice photography is the first thing these potential buyers are gonna see most of the time online. That's what's gonna draw people clicking on the listing online, people inquiring on it, people scheduling showings, and obviously the more showings we get, the better offers we're gonna get. Okay. Another big reason will be the agent did not present the property properly. Okay, so this is kind of this goes to our consultation of for the seller. Okay, so I'm sure you guys seen in the MLS as well, like properties that are on there, the place is a mess, grass overgrown, things. You know what I mean? The agent didn't consult the seller essentially to present the property in the best manner to actually get the thing sold. Okay, for the price they're asking for. Okay. Agent did not market the property properly. Okay, good thing with Century One, we do have really good listing syndication throughout all of our 300 online websites that we can really get the word out there. But even on top of that, we have to be really good at you mean emailing your database, emailing databases of realtors, getting the word out there. Okay, that's what we're getting paid to do. Get the word out there, doing open houses. All those type of activities. Okay, and this is another big issue is poor negotiation. Even sometimes you have a listing, um, you get an offer, and then sometimes you know what I mean the seller doesn't want to budge, the buyer doesn't want to budge, or you just kind of mishandle that whole offering of the deal. And a lot of times, sometimes it could have been still made under contract if you just would have pushed a little bit harder or done something a little bit different instead of letting the whole thing blow up. Remember in this business, like we have to be just deal makers. We have to just make stuff happen. Okay. Whether it's you mean convincing the listing, I mean the buyer agent to hey man, can you up the price just $5,000 more? I could try to make this thing happen. Those little extra pushes to just make deals happen. That's what our whole goal is. Okay. But a lot of times it's going to be the agent was inexperienced, so it's gonna a lot of times it's gonna encompass all of these things all together. Okay, just due to agents being unexperienced. Okay, so unexperienced, he probably doesn't know how to properly price a property. probably doesn't know how to convince the seller to do what they want to as far as pricing. Inexperienced agents probably not gonna take the time to take professional pictures. Inexperienced agents aren't gonna, consult the seller properly to get the house where it needs to be at. They're not gonna market the property, and they're gonna fumble the negotiation. Hopefully, we get you guys up to speed enough so we don't make these problems. Okay. Like it says right here, your agent lost. Other agents' loss is your gain. Okay. And we essentially got to show them what we can do, put our spin on the listing, and convince them to join on board with us. But before we do any of this stuff, before we actually start going for listings, before we start going for expired listings, like I always say, man, we have to be prepared for that opportunity. Because the last thing, I actually get a lot of agents, you know what I mean, and I applaud them for it. They want to go ahead, like, hey, I want to jump in, I want to start getting some expired listings now. But they don't even, they haven't taken care of the fundamentals of things that we just need to do. Okay. So like I always say, prepare. So with that said, we need to know our job. Okay. The ins and outs of being a realtor. We need to know every step of the transaction. Like I said, right. We need to know, consult our clients. We need to know what it takes to sell a house. When I say that, it means like, hey, when you see that the grass overgrown, like that's not putting their best foot forward. You see, you know what I mean, bad landscaping that could be easily fixed by having somebody go out there, the seller or landscape, putting some mulch out there, things like that, fresh paint. Like we need to know what looks good and what will make the house be presented in the best way. Okay. And the only way we're gonna start knowing to do that stuff is getting out there also, but also taking these trainings, continually doing the Synergy 21 trainings. Okay. I'm just gonna quickly jump onto the university real quick, like I always do, because we have to like pretty much live in this thing, especially for some of my newer guys that are on here. We really have to just start soaking up as much information. The little golden nuggets we get in the accumulation of 5-6 years, it's really gonna make a big difference. Okay, I know right now some of my newer guys, it's just a lot of information, a lot of it's going over your head, but we have to continually just do these trainings, learn more, become a real estate expert, like I always say. And it's not gonna happen overnight. Okay, and just because you guys did some of these trainings, like, doesn't mean you guys know everything. Like, go back in there and redo it. So I'm telling you, every time you redo a training, you're going to get some more golden nuggets. Okay. So I just want to give you some quick references on the university, because everybody should be taking these trainings on a consistent basis. A really easy place to start is going to be the Central University. Right here on this homepage is all about listing spot. Okay, literally right here, there's four classes I bet none of you guys has taken yet. All about listings. We're actually, a lot of people are doing this. I'm actually going to do this one next month. Everybody that's on this class should sign up for this. It's a 3-day workshop, just learn about, you know what I mean, listing properties. Okay, and it starts on November 11th. So you guys make a note, register on that if you guys would like to. And I'm gonna quickly just read the description of it. Listings will always be king in the real estate business, but when they're harder to find, agents need skills. I can't read straight. This 3-day session workshop, you discover some new ideas and how to nuance some old ones. Okay, so as you guys know, this real estate business has changed right now. We're in a super tight inventory, so finding sellers is a little bit different, and we got to find and probably different ways to find sellers. So these type of trainings, little new ideas that you can start putting into action, is definitely going to help. All about listings. I would just regularly go through here and check out all these. This video right here, Kevin Mills listing presentation, I want everybody to check this out too. It's just 9 minutes. And Kevin Mills, he's like the top listing agent for Synergy 21. He listed like 300 homes in 1 year, supposedly. So check this out. It goes over his little mini listing presentation. It'll start giving you an idea of what a listing presentation is. Okay. With that, okay, we have to start becoming, like I always say, real estate experts. We got to start knowing the market. We got to start knowing the stats in the market. We need to know what houses are selling for, what's the average price, what's a good price, what's an overpriced house, okay? We need to know the average days of the market, what things are selling for. This is all the stuff that sellers are going to want to know and that you need to know, actually. You need to know the hot areas. What areas are selling fast? What areas are going to get, an offer on one day? What areas are going to take a little bit longer? And like I just said, you need to know what an overpriced listing looks like. So this is if you guys get a listing, this is the overpriced thing. That's gonna be the biggest hurdle you guys are gonna have. Okay. We gotta have our website up and running. So that's the first thing we always do is get our website up and running, all our online profiles, because the seller, they're gonna look you guys up, and if you guys don't have an awesome, not even good, an awesome looking website, now we're fighting an uphill battle that didn't even need to happen. Okay, so everybody should be constantly working on your website as well. If you guys have sales, get reviews, get on those reviews, set up your Zillow, Realtor.com, Facebook business and personal profiles with activity. Okay, post that you're actively engaged in your real estate business. And then this is a big one. This happens all the time. Have your listing presentation together. Okay, I got a lot of you guys. Sometimes you guys come to me like, hey, I have a listing presentation tomorrow, and I don't have anything ready. It's like, damn, man, this listing presentation for a really good one, like it's gonna take. First of all, it's always evolving, but it's gonna take you 3 weeks. To get a really good one, and that's what we need. We don't need an average one. We need a really, really, really good one. I guess I'm blow the seller away. Quick reference on how to find a starting point for these listing presentation or just marketing material for listings. Jump in your 21 online real quick. This homepage, and literally just type it here in the search bar. Listing presentation. Check this out. Scroll down. I would honestly check out all these things when you guys get a chance, but I want to show you this. The Syndicate 21 listing presentation. This is a very basic start to it, but I'm going to show you some things to kind of customize it and make it your own, which everybody should be doing. Like, I'm going to show you, it's kind of basic, okay? In your listing presentation, you need to put what you bring to the table, what you do for marketing, something that's customized to you, okay? And even your real estate market. So I'm just waiting for this thing to open up. Seems like a little slow, but it's all good. In the meantime, I'm just going to go on to the next thing. Once we have your listing presentation ready to go, we need to actually know it. Okay, we need to know the ins and out of it, because honestly, when you're at a listing presentation, you're not going to be reading down line by line your listing presentation. You need to know like a short version of it. Okay, get the quick highlights of your listing presentation, and then a big part is knowing how to pull comps. Know how to find valuations for these properties. This I think is probably the biggest part of the listing presentation. Going over the market, going over how much their house is worth, going over the competition, going over what's pending, going over how long you think it's actually going to take to get an acceptable offer. This type of information the seller wants to know. There's no seller out there that wants to leave any money on the table. Okay, that's why they always try to overprice the property. So know the exact market, know everything about the market. Don't let the seller know more about the market than you. Remember, we are the real estate professionals now, the real estate experts. So back to this quick listing presentation. As you see, it says stop. Let me see, edited. Let me just quickly go over. It's kind of basic. Okay, cool stuff. This would be a good starting point. Okay, check all this stuff out. What I honestly like to do is I like to completely overhaul this whole thing. The only thing I like to keep is just the cool designs that they have here. All right, that you probably can't make on your own unless you know how to do that stuff. Like when I say cool designs, I mean like Syndicate 21, these boxes and stuff like that. So I'm just give you a quick example of what I would do. Say for this, let's see if we find a cooler one. Say for this, you see how really nice designs, good layout, good coloring. You can literally go in here and start customizing this whole thing and just make it your own. So click on this. delete all that and just put something else like my proven marketing system. Okay. And then you go in here and you start, I literally would start just deleting all this stuff and literally just make it your complete own. But you see I'm still keeping these cool designs and cool pictures and stuff like that. I'm just going here, add a text. And now you can put your own body of text in here with whatever you want, okay? So you put 1, I'm awesome. 2, Corey's awesome over down there. All right, you guys get what I'm getting at. You can put whatever you want. It doesn't have to be the stuff that they have here. You can do all the stuff that you actually bring to the table. And as you see, this list presentation is like 54 pages long. Honestly, I would cut this down to like 12 pages. Just hit the highlights. Nobody wants to sit through 54 pages of just fluff, really. Okay, so shorten this whole thing down and start customizing it to yourself. Okay, quick tip. All right, so once you guys are prepared, you guys ready to go. And oh wait, just real quick. And the reason I like you guys to be prepared and have all this stuff ready to go, because 1, you guys are gonna feel a lot more confident when you're actually prospecting for these expired listings, and 2, you guys are gonna be a lot more motivated to prospect for them, because you have confidence that, hey man, I've worked really hard on this thing. It looks really good, and I know once I have somebody ready to go, I could probably land them. And I also know what I bring to the table, so it's gonna help you talk to them when you're on the phone or wherever way you're talking to them. Cool. So once you've been prepared, you guys got all that stuff ready. You've been working for 2 weeks, getting all that stuff ready to go, learning all that stuff. Now you're ready to actually start getting the expired listings. To get the expired listing list, there's a couple different ways to do it. Okay, there's several paid services you get, which I think are the best. There's a service called Redex that you see down here. I honestly think they're the best one out there because their numbers work really well. I don't know how they get the numbers like tentacles. They just find these guys' numbers. So their numbers work really well. There's Mojo Dialer. They have a list as well. Their numbers work okay. And the cool thing about Redex and Mojo Dialer, they actually have a dialer with it, which will make your productivity rise up. Instead of you having to type in each number and wait for the dial tone, it'll call like 3 people at one time. Whoever picks up first, that's the person. You can literally knock out a list of like 100 people in probably like 45 minutes. And then also, at Center 21, we'll give you a list as well. I suggest everybody, we start off in this free list that we give you, and then figure out, hey, if you like doing this, if you're good at it, before you start investing the money. Because Redex is like $250 probably. I forgot how much Mojo is. I think Redex is like $350. I forgot. So start off on this before you start putting money. Make sure you get the system down. Make sure you like what you're doing, and then we put the gasoline on the fire by adding a productivity system like this. Okay. So, but Centurion will give you a list of expired listings that are free, okay? And we'll give it to you every morning at 9 o'clock. So I'm gonna show you, hold on. And if you guys want that list, I'm gonna put it in the chat box right now. So to get that list, we're going to email Lindsay Cariotti, and she's the one that sends out the list every day. So I'm going to put her email in there. If you guys want to just like email her and be like, hey, I want to be on the expired listing list. Then every morning she's going to give you a list that looks like this, okay? There's going to be 2 formats that come in. It's going to come in Excel, and then I don't even know what this is called. But the Excel, it's not going to make any sense to you. You would use this if you're using a dialer like Mojo or Redex. And it's something you just literally upload this list into the dialer, and it'll have all the information ready to go for you, so the computer can essentially call everybody for you. For right now, for you guys, I just work on the free list. I would use this one right here. the PDF version. I'm gonna show you how it looks like. So this is an example. This is the expired listing list. As you see, it gives us all the pertinent information of the prior listing. So it's going to give you the owner name, the list price, the status of it, the address, and any weird information that it has on here. As you see, there's quite a few names on here. Okay, so and this comes on every day. So you're never going to be like, oh man, there's not enough. Trust me, there's enough. So the keys working this list is honestly, it's a contact sport. Okay, there's about 30 to 50 names on there. Trust me, not every number. There's no lead source that every number is gonna be 100% every time. Okay, if you guys get really good at this, you guys start subscribing to white pages, different ways to find these people's numbers. Okay, but the whole goal is to go down this list, run through this list several times, essentially. Okay. Another key I like to do is, before I even call them, I want to pull these people up. Okay. There's actually a caveat. I should have put this in here. The real key to working this thing is obviously the contact sport, call these people. But what I like to do is schedule this in your calendar. Put this in your calendar that, from 8 to 10, I'm calling these expired listings, and literally like write that in your calendar every day or however days you want to do it. If you're doing, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, put that in your calendar. Because if you guys don't do it, you guys don't put it in the calendar, I'm sure things will start getting in the way. We have to literally time block this portion out, because this is essentially the lifeblood of being a listing agent. Okay. Also, a big key of this is to be one of the first people that the seller gets in contact with. These expired listings, they're really receptive when you're the first caller. They're receptive when you're the second caller. The third call, they're like, okay, there's a lot of people calling me all of a sudden. By the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 10th, they're not receptive at all, and most likely they're not even picking up their phone anymore. Okay, so the whole goal is to be one of the first people these guys talk to that day as soon as they come off the market. Okay, but like I said right here, I like to actually pull them up on the MLS before I call, because I want to get some insight on that property. I want to see, what they did, if I can figure out what the agent did wrong, if it's bad pictures, if it's overpriced, if it's, little caveats. And I also know if it's a property I even want to call. Okay. So for instance, I'm going to show you some examples right now. So what I literally do is save this first one right here. I just get this first address right here. Copy. And I'm going straight to my MLS. And just putting it in the search bar right here. Quick pro tip for my new guys that don't have MLS or just got MLS: to quickly find properties, use this top search bar right here, but only put the street number and the street name. Leave out anything that says road or city. Okay, we just need that, and it's gonna pull it up. So it's just street number and name. As you see, this is the last one right here, and it expired. So we're actually confirming that it is off the market now, and I want to look at it. I want to see how it looks. See, it's a pretty nice listing. And this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, like, hey, what did they do wrong here? Why didn't this thing sell? Nice photos, good listing. All right, so it's really good listing. A lot of times it might just come down to it was overpriced. Okay, and that's something, if the seller really wasn't budging, or it might not be something you want to take. Okay, but we just have to find that way to find out what's going on. Nice looking house. A lot of times you'll notice these properties that do go expired are with these smaller companies, so that might have a factor in it as well. This property is probably overpriced, but What I'm really looking for, what I like love to see are properties that I could really help. Okay, things that I know for a fact. Like, hey, if I put my own spin on this thing, if I put my professional force, I put my marketing on this thing, I could definitely get this house under contract. So let's try. Let's look at this one. And also, these are the phone numbers right here. And you see when I'm pulling up, I'm just putting this into it. Leave the drive out. Leave all this stuff out. We just need this. Trying to find the latest one, but sometimes it gets hard to figure out which one's which when you have this many. I'm thinking it's this one, but then I looked at the try this one. I don't know. Obviously, take some time to figure out which one's the right listing. Let's do one or two more, just so you guys get a feel for it. So you see this one is back active, okay? So this one you definitely don't want to call. You look crazy. And you're gonna see that a couple times, okay? They're gonna relist with either a new realtor, they already have one in mind, or they're gonna relist with their old realtor. See, for instance, this one relisted with their old realtor. All right, this is the last one I'm doing. This one's active again. All right, but you guys get the gist of it. Go through these and make sure, confirm that they are expired or withdrawn. All right, so obviously once we identify this, we have to make an approach or a contact with them. Obviously, there's a bunch of different ways we can approach these people. So mail outs, okay, this is a really good way to do it. It's kind of passive. And this also goes to our prepared part. All right, we should also be preparing our marketing collateral. All right, YouTube, look up some really good expired listing letters or brochures, something you can really grab these people's attention. Okay, because some of these people are gonna have a do not call, but that doesn't mean, hey, this is not contact them ever. Okay, we can mail them, we can text them, we can door knock. Okay, so this should be a big part of your expired listing approach. And honestly, we're going to incorporate all 5 of these, okay? Like it kind of says down here, kind of skip ahead. All right, so a mail out would be a great way to quickly getting contacts out there. We got to put ourselves out there. Text messages, okay? Not many people are picking up the phone nowadays, okay? They're going to see a weird unknown number. Like, I'm sure you guys don't even pick up weird numbers, unknown numbers, okay? A lot of people do not pick up phones, but they do read their text messages every time, okay? So look up, start thinking about a compelling text message for these expired listings, okay? A really good thing I like to do is send them a video text message, all right? Send them a video text message. Have somebody record you sitting down in your office with something good you could say to get these guys' attention, to set up a communication, okay? So I'd be like, hey, I noticed, hey, it's Javier Santana with Center 21. Hey, I just noticed your property just came off the market. Honestly, just reach out to get your house sold. All right, something simple, something quick, so that way, once it grabs their attention, that's way different than what other people are doing, and 2, it gets the message across. Obviously, with all these different methods, like test them, split test them, figure out, you know what I mean? If it's not hitting, if it's not working, change it up a little bit, change up what you're saying. But definitely incorporate the text messages in there. This is a new age we're living in. Door knocking. Okay, this would be a great way to set yourself away from the crowd. Now, there's not many agents willing to do this. I have a lot of agents. Oh, what about me door knocking my whole neighborhood? I say honestly, skip that whole thing. I don't want to door knock 100 people. I want that are probably not interested in real estate. I want to door knock a concise group. These people, these 50 people. If you're going to door knock, look up the best houses that you could really help, and go out there and knock on their door. Have some marketing material with yourself. So a lot of times they're going to be at work anyway. To have some marketing collateral. That also goes with the prepare factor. Have that stuff ready to go. This has we get an instant face-to-face for that. It shows them, hey, I'm aggressive. If you can talk well when you're in front of them, that helps too. Honestly, when I door knock these people, I'm not trying to go for a listing presentation right then and there, because a lot of people don't want you in their house without a notice. But I'm just setting up a line of communication. Okay, they put a face-to-face. Okay, I'm not some stranger on the phone. You met me before. Okay, so door knocking is a great way to I'm trying to think of the word, productively door knock. Instead of us door knocking 100 random people, why don't we door knock 15 people that we know for a fact they're trying to sell their house? Okay, and then obviously calling. It's the most productive method out there. It's quick, it's easy. Get the line of communication out there. But the one bad thing is people don't pick up their phones. There's a lot of people calling them. Okay, but we still have to incorporate this. And what I really like to do is incorporate all these at once. Okay, so for instance, you call them, they don't pick up. Hit them with a video text message. Okay. Once you hit them with the video text, send out a mailer. Okay, and then with all those three methods, when you finally knock on their door, and like, oh yeah, I've seen your video, I've seen your brochure, and I got your voicemail. So you're kind of pre-built in there. All right, they kind of know who you are, but just because you reached out multiple facets. We kind of talked about this. I should probably put this part up here more. Scheduling. This has to be a part of your schedule. We have to actually put that in your actual schedule, in your calendar, so you do it every day. And when you're doing this, put some blinders on. Don't let anything get in the way. Don't let emails, don't let other clients get in the way. Just like, hey man, I'm prospecting right now. Let me just put the rest of the stuff aside. So the thing I like to keep it really real simple when it comes to calling them. And honestly, I kind of follow the same dialogue throughout pretty much all my correspondence. So essentially, we're acknowledging, hey man, your house did just come off the market. Are you still trying to sell it? And if you are you interviewing agents for the job? I'd love to show you what I do exactly what I do for my marketing. This also goes pretty much this. I say kind of the same dialogue for every situation. And the reason I like to keep things simple. Okay, I could internalize this. I don't have to think about it. It's simple. As I say it for sale by owners, expired listings. I even say it for buyers. Obviously, switch up the language. We have to keep your dialogue really simple so you can really internalize it. So let's just read over it. Hey, is this owner at ABC Street in Orlando? Hey, this is Javier Santana. I'm a realtor with Century 21. Noticed your house just came off the market. I was really just calling to see if you're still interested in selling your house. And he says yes, no, blah blah blah, whatever. Yeah, great. Are you still interviewing agents for the job? I'd love to meet you and show you exactly what I do from a market from A to Z. I've helped a bunch of people in your shoes. Something like that. Okay. You could obviously I know this so well. I just started throwing in extra little verbiages and stuff like that. And with all these scripts, make it your own. Add some other hits to it. Okay. They say, yeah, okay, awesome. What day's good for you? Obviously, close them, blah blah. A lot of times people aren't gonna be ready to meet with you right then and there, but it's okay. We're just establishing a dialogue. That's why the follow-up is gonna be so important for these people. Okay. So say, let me go down, because we're gonna have objections. Okay. But overall, we don't ever leave a conversation just like, all right, bye. All right. We want to keep them in our database, in our CRM for follow-up. And we also need to build a database just for ourselves anyway. Okay. So say, hey, I noticed your house. Hey, this is Javier Santana. I'm a realtor with Century 21. I noticed your home just came off the market. I was seeing if you're still interested in selling your house. A lot of times you're gonna be like, oh, I already found another realtor. All right, you're gonna hear that a lot. So what I immediately like to say is, I hear what you're saying, but I'd love to show you exactly what I do for my marketing, and at least this way, you might get some new ideas when you relist the house. That way, you keep the conversation going. You still might have an opportunity for listing presentation, because a lot of times when they're saying, I found another realtor, a lot of times they haven't actually signed the paperwork. They just have somebody in mind. So we just need to keep the door open so we actually have our listing presentation. We can impress them with what we bring to the table. Okay, so it's pretty simple. I totally got what you're saying. I'd love to show you exactly what I do from marketing from A to Z. I've helped a bunch of trust me, I helped a bunch of expired listings. I helped a bunch of people exactly in your shoes. In worst case scenario, if you don't like what I like to say, at least you have some new ideas. We can walk away as friends. Sounds fair enough? If somebody's smart and he's like, all right, let me just hear what this guy is saying. All right, let me see what makes this guy different. We're keeping the opportunity alive. I decided I don't want to sell anymore. This goes back to like last class I taught. You know what I mean? We had to figure out what's the actual holdup, okay? Because them saying I decided not to sell anymore might mean I don't want to sell anymore today. I don't want to. Maybe I don't want to sell anymore next week, but in a month from now, I'm ready to sell again. I'm ready to list up again. Or 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 4 months from now. So this way we keep the dialogue going. Okay. So I like to ask them, hey, all right, I totally understand, but if you don't mind me asking, what's holding you up, or why have you decided not to sell anymore? We have to figure out if it's a real reason. Like, hey, I'm not selling anymore because the job I had is no longer available because of COVID. All right, that's a real reason. This dude's probably not moving. Okay. But I like to tell them, I don't care what time frame they're in. I'd love to just meet you in person so I can show you exactly what I do from marketing, and I helped a bunch of people in your shoes, and you're gonna be very impressed. Something like that. Okay, so let's read what I have right here. I say if you might be somewhat interested, I don't care if it's this week, next month. The only thing I ask for you is so we can meet in person, so I can show you exactly what I do from marketing from A to Z. I helped a bunch of people in your shoes. I'm telling you, you'll be very impressed. Okay, obviously, you know what I mean, you make it your own, but essentially that's what I like to say. We're saying this totally casual, like it's no big deal. Okay, we don't want to be, and this is what goes with any sales over the phone. We're always got to be casual. Hey, I totally understand, man, but if you are somewhat anything interested, I don't care if it's next month, next week, I'd love to just meet you, show you exactly what I do for my marketing. Casual. We're gonna take the house off the market this for a little bit and time to relist. We're kind of have the same dialogue a lot of times for this one. Kind of showing like, hey, whenever you are, I don't care if it's a week, a month, 3 months from now, I'd love to meet with you and show you exactly what I do for marketing. And they're like, all right, oh no, we're good, cool. When you are looking to sell, do you have a realtor in mind? Oh yeah, no, blah blah blah. Cool. Can we at least keep in contact? Can I at least follow up with you once a month? Okay, that's the type of conversations we need to have. Because like I said, none of these conversations just end. We have to keep these things going. We have to keep following up with them. Because remember, a lot of these realtors, they're not following up with people. You know how hard it is to follow up people? A lot of realtors aren't doing it. Okay, so we stay in front of them. We're saying compelling stuff. We're sending them compelling marketing information. It's gonna translate. What makes you different from my realtor? You're gonna get that a lot too. Or hey, why didn't you sell my house when it was on the market already? So that could be two different objections. I probably should add that other one. So what makes you different from my realtor? With that one, I like to just give a quick wrap about myself, just real quick. Remember, we're not trying to sell them over the phone. We're not trying to give the listing presentation over the phone. We want just opportunity to meet them in person. So what I like to say is like, hey, well, first of all, it makes you different. I have a proven and effective method to get homes just like you're sold. I've helped a bunch of people exactly in your same position. I'd love to show you exactly what I do from marketing from A to Z. I'm telling you, you'll be very impressed. Something quick just like that, okay? We're not trying to sell them over the phone. We want to sell them when we're actually in person. But obviously, like with anything, not everybody's gonna be like, not everybody's like, oh yeah, come on in. All right. So it's a sales game, it's a numbers game. That's why this follow-up portion is gonna be so important. The follow-up is key. Every conversation we have, we don't just leave it that way. We just don't leave it, all right, bye, blah, blah. We always leave it off, all right, if when you do possibly want to sell, can I at least keep in contact with you? That's what I love to say. Can I at least keep in contact with you? Can I at least keep in contact with you once a month or every 2 months? And that way, when you are ready to sell, I could be one of the possible agents you can interview. That's the only thing I'm looking for. I just want to be one of the agents you interview. So that's gonna be crucial. The follow-up is crucial. So using your CRM is gonna be very important. Everybody in your CRM, like I always say, should have a reminder when you should follow back up with them. And also, when you start having a database of addresses and names and notes, it's gonna be easy to start going in there and prospecting these people in a year, 6 months, 12 months. Okay. There's one guy I saw. He's been doing CMAs for everybody in his database. All the expired listings that didn't want to list with them, he goes back in there, looks up the address, does a custom CMA for it, and then texts them and emails them that competitive market analysis. One is it's something different. Two, it's going to stand out besides like, hey, I'm just checking in on you. But yeah, quick thing real quick. We're not doing, hey, I'm just checking in on you. We'll always have to follow up with something of value. Okay. So whether it's a good competitive market analysis, things that sold right down the street, things that's going on in the market, low inventory, something that the seller actually cares about. Okay. What do the sellers care about? Money in their pocket. How much is my house worth? How much can I sell my house? So let's go over some tips. Have your presentation ready to go before you start calling. I went over that. Know what you bring to the table as far as listings go. Yeah, so this everybody should start thinking about, start brainstorming. Like this is what we should be doing like right now after this training. Like get down a piece of paper and start writing down everything you bring to the table. Okay, hardworking, good negotiator. You know what I mean? I do open houses. A lot of agents don't even do that. Okay, internet marketing, strong social media game. So yeah, so this goes back to our follow-up and our multilateral media, okay? So every time you get on the phone with somebody, get off the phone, following up with somebody, marketing material, like follow up with more links about yourself and your company. So as soon as I get off the phone with somebody, I'm texting them, hey, this is Hybrid 10, nice meeting you. Hey, check out what, maybe I might put a link to all my reviews. Check out what all my past clients have said about me. Boom. All right, we're slowly building up our value. We're slowly building up our credibility. Or hey, it's Hybrid Santana, or maybe you're just following up. Hey, this is Hybrid Santana. Just I sent you a quick CMA to your property. Also, check out some more information about my company. We've been doing a lot of sales, and I think we could really help you. Something like that. Okay, and the link. Remember, everybody has an iPhone nowadays, so everybody could easily get in touch can easily have access to internet for links and stuff like that. Yeah, the link to your reviews, that's gonna be huge. Everybody should start building up reviews. That's gonna be so powerful. Follow up with your marketing material, seller guides, if you have that stuff. Yeah, so you guys honestly have like a resume of when you guys get to that point, have your listing presentation, have a resume of all the homes you sold, what you bring to the table, and then maybe like a 151 step marketing plan. All the things that we do that you kind of take for granted because you do it so fast. I actually write all that stuff down. That'll be a good follow up material. Have material made up and ready to go, and make a follow up schedule. Yeah, this is so crucial. So a follow up schedule. You should have a follow up. So you do the same thing every time. So as soon as you get off the phone with somebody, your next follow up would be immediately text them. 2 days from now, immediately text them, and then immediately after that, send out the mail. After that, do something else. 3 days from now, knock on his door. Next week, send him the CMA or do something. Okay, it should be scheduled. Like it's a methodology. That you don't mess up. Okay. And that way you don't forget about it either. And that's pretty much it. Now it's time for questions. I know I ran through this pretty quick. Still 46 minutes, but that's time to, yeah, Red X is way better than I think all of them. Now we're just gonna open up for questions. Okay, we have 15 minutes for just open forum questions. Honestly, it doesn't even have to be about expired listings. We could talk about anything. Corey, if you don't mind me asking, what's your experience with Red X? No. I think you're muted. But if anybody else has any questions or anything they want to talk about, let me know. Any questions? Any questions? Vince, you got any questions or anything?
I do. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Great. So let me ask you about calling. Now, do we have to deal with the do not call list first, right? So if someone's on a do not call list, how do we contact them?
So the do not call list, that's where you utilize the mail outs, the door knocking, I would even text message. I'd honestly text message them as well.
So we can text message even on a do not call or do not contact.
Honestly, don't know the exact rule for that. I actually don't know I actually call them anyway, but that's not a recommendation. That's not a recommendation.
Okay.
But that's why we're utilizing different avenues. Okay, we're doing the mail outs, we're doing text message, doing door knocking. Really good thing you could do is if you utilize social media, you can actually target some people's addresses. So you can start showing up on people's feeds after you've contacted them. And that's why I like a multifaceted approach, because if you just see somebody on Facebook, a random ad, all right, that's not gonna really hit. But they really noticed it after, hey, that's the guy that texted me, called me, and sent me mail. Now I'm seeing this guy on Facebook. It's multifaceted.
Right. I think that's great. I also like the idea of video text. I think that's a really cool idea.
And the good thing about it is, you create a good one and you have it, and now you don't have to create it again. Just send.
Right. Okay. Great.
Corey?
Red X has been good, yeah. I just started doing the expired data on it, but I've been using their geo leads for circle prospecting. Just because I used to use, I think with the brokerage, we used to have Cole Realty Resource. And although it's unlimited numbers, I only get a certain amount of leads each month with geo leads. Just the numbers are a lot better. I've been getting a lot more connections. The thing I do like I said, started buying the expired leads. The thing I like about this Red X versus the ones with like Land Voice, like Al and them get, they have in the account, they have a VA going in every day and updating it. So I know that if I'm going back to my old expireds and they're still in my database, that they haven't relisted or they haven't sold. So that's huge.
Yeah, that's awesome. Corey, if you don't mind me asking, how much is that running you a month for the list and the dialer?
The triple dialer, the geo leads, and the expireds is $850 a quarter.
Nice. That's pretty cost effective too.
No, it really is. That triple dialer, it's huge. If you're like, I have a neighborhood I just called where I got a listing from one of my letters that I write. Mm-hmm. So I got a listing and I just wanted to narrow in on it, and 500 people. Took me 2 hours to call them.
Hell yeah. See, that's
anybody, when you do get a regular listing, really focus in on the expireds too. It might be something you don't really think about, but if you sell a home really fast, especially like this is a short-term rental community in Davenport that I just sold pretty quick in a week, and kind of at a high price too for the community, for the square footage. So then it's easy to go back. So I went back, not just circle prospecting, but I went to see what maybe expired this spring when things weren't moving. And there's nicer homes in there than mine, the one I just listed, and couldn't sell at the price I just sold for. So yeah, I'm definitely going to those people, both by letters and door knocking and phone, land, sea, and air.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a really awesome That's all good. Thanks, Corey, for that one. Because hey, that's what sellers want. Okay, they want something that's relevant. Hey, I just sold the house right down the street. I noticed you had it listed 6 months ago. Are you still interested in possibly selling? Some type of dialogue. So Corey's an awesome example of that. He's using mail outs, geodialers, the expired list. Okay, that's the type of stuff that we need. Okay, multifaceted, because like I said, at first it doesn't click. But when they see you several times, now it's starting to click. Now it's starting to build up on it. I like to call it, you're taking up that mind share. It's like Coca-Cola. Every time you see a little thing, a little ad, you have like a whole day in their mind. They remember you, okay? But they see you just one thing, it's gone pretty quick. But they see it's multifaceted, layers to it. Thank you, Corey.
And it's massive, taking massive action and just sowing that seed. And we want to, everybody wants to do the Jack and the Beanstalk, put the seed in and get the, reap the harvest next day. But it's a farming effect. You sow the seed, and it's going to be a while. Generally, you'll get some of that instantaneous business, but it's going to be a longer term business. Some of those letters I took in the last couple of weeks, I took 3 listings so far from these letters that I do, the out of state letters, and one of them was a letter that I wrote last October, and another one was one I wrote in January. So you do get some now business. I write some letters and people get it's like just good timing, but a lot of time. And I don't know why they hold on to my letters and maybe not another agent's, but it's just a numbers game.
Corey, if you don't mind me asking, how many hours do you vote in the morning or whenever you're doing it to doing the the writing out the letters, the callings and all that? Do you schedule out your time?
In all honesty, the letters get done at night. If I'm watching TV or watching podcasts, I'll have the headset on. I more or less listen to stuff, and I'll do that. That's my kind of downtime. I will have research done. So if I'm on a triple dialer, if anybody's ever used one, there'll be some dead time when it's just spinning and dialing and nobody's answering. You're dropping voicemail. So you could go 2 or 3 minutes and not have anything. So I'll switch over to, I'll have stuff right in front of me, and I'll be writing letters or addressing envelopes, during the couple hours in the morning. So but then I get off it really quick. As soon as I get somebody pick up so I can focus on them, I drop that. So I'm just focused directly on them. But yeah. I usually spend, at least 4 hours. If I don't have to go do anything in the morning, I try to get my sellers or buyers to schedule for the afternoons. I try to at least do 9 to 1. And in all honesty, my goal is, because I am a really Facebook friend with Kevin Mills, who you mentioned, and I follow a lot of his stuff and talk to him back and forth and ask him questions and stuff. It was 256, by the way, last year that he listed. He did 268 transactions, but listings 256. And and he just, when he first started, if he wasn't going on appointments, it was like 8 o'clock. And a lot of Greg's agents, the ones that are really top producing, even brand new ones, are 8 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. Maybe everybody doesn't want that kind of life. But I've set some pretty big goals for next year and time to dial in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what it's all about, guys. Like we do all this stuff, we do all this trainings, but what it really takes out is just putting it into play. Okay. Even maybe just taking like half of what we've done and slowly start putting it into play. But I think the most important part is, before we even do that, is have all that stuff ready to go. Have that list presentation ready to go. Have your letter ready to go. And the funny thing is, like, Corey knocked it out the park. He does his own research. Okay, he doesn't just wait for the 2 o'clock class. He's researching stuff on his downtime. YouTube warrior. Okay, like he's getting the golden nuggets and he's formulating ideas. He's creating stuff. He's trying new things out. So that's what everybody needs to be doing here.
But it's massive action too. I'm assuming the majority of the agents on here are new agents, and if anybody's ever read Grant Cardone's book 10X, you need to put forth a lot more effort than you think it takes to be successful, just because it is a numbers game.
Yep.
Before you were there, Don was there, and he's the one who got me writing these out-of-state letters, told me to write 10 a day, 5 days a week, so 50 letters a week, and today I'm doing 500. I've committed next year to doing 500 letters, so I was like, why wait till next year? So the last 3 weeks I've been doing 500 letters. And usually somewhere in the ballpark of 500 to 600 letters, I get a listing from that. But even if I don't get an immediate listing from it, I'm like, last week I got 5 or 6 people, just call me and say, hey, I'm interested in selling my house. What's it worth? And I tell them they don't like the number right now because, the markets in the short-term rental community, if it's over there, is down. But I just asked them, is it okay if I keep, up to date with you? I know what kind of price you're looking for. I'll let you know when the inventory's been depleted and we can start getting some better pricing. And I'll just stay in touch with them. So I do have a CRM. I'm kind of an old school guy too, so I don't have it right here in front of me, but I just got a file folder too, just so I can keep stuff going, like January, all through specifically for this here out-of-state owners, just to really get it dialed in for this upcoming year.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And the good thing about Corey, he knows his numbers, so he knows how many people he needs to call to get an appointment. He knows how many letters he needs to send out to get an appointment. Okay, so it's also like being able to track all your numbers, because when it gets to a predictable, when it gets predictable, it makes it a lot easier. Okay, so, all right, I just need to hit 500 letters and I'll be good to go, or I gotta make this many calls and I'm good to go.
Yeah, like I even pay my son to write some letters, and it's like, do I want to spend it? I give him $1 a letter. Do I want to pay $1 a letter plus 50-cent stamps and whatever? Do I want to spend, if I'm doing even 600, do I want to spend $900 to get a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 commission? I mean, the answer for me is yes all day long. But it's an easy number, predictable revenue when you're doing it that way.
Yep.
But you need to be doing it even when agents get to the point where they can start spending money on Zillow and all that kind of stuff. You got to keep track of it.
Yeah.
Know your numbers.
Know your numbers. That's gonna be most important. So also pro tip, guys, start knowing your numbers. If you guys doing prospecting, write down how many people you called. Write all that stuff down. It might take a whole year to figure out your numbers, but if we don't start anywhere, you're never gonna know them.
Absolutely.
I have a question about the letters, actually. So do you do it through the Century 21 online? Is there a letterhead? How do we go about it?
I don't know. Let me see. I'll see if you can see my screen. This is my complex letter. See that?
Yeah.
Look, the kiss method. Keep it simple. For real.
No letterhead. It's my signature. It's my signature. Just, dear Mr. Ms. Mesh, would you consider selling your house at 351 Fairfield Drive, Sanford, Florida? Please call me. Thank you, Corey Smallman. Hand addressed here. Throw some stamps on, a couple business cards in there, and got a couple more listings coming up in the next couple of weeks. Listed one last week and 2 the week before. So.
Great. So Corey, you feel like, does that give it a personal touch? You feel that's better than typing something out?
Absolutely. I've tried both, and people probably won't even open if it's typed. So the fact that it's hand, and there's little tricks like putting the stamp on a little bit crooked so it doesn't look like it's a machine.
Right.
Just stuff like that. And
it
gets people to open it. That's all you need. This letter is not, all I want is a conversation with these people. It's me selling my services. That's going to get me the listing. The letters aren't getting me the listing. It's just getting me an at bat.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's awesome. Yeah, put some coffee stains on it or something. Make it look really
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But thank you, Corey, for sharing that. And also, guys, hey, man, YouTube. There's other people that's doing this type of stuff. Like, figure out what they're doing. Make it to your own. Okay. But any other questions, real quick, because. If not, we've run out of time, so I'm going to cut you guys loose. But like I said, let's work on our listing presentations. Let's work on all that marketing material. And then, like Corey said, let's start taking action. Okay, guys? Also,
massive action, not just action, massive action.
He said, I don't want to do 50. I'm doing 500, literally 10X. Okay?
PQ, baby.
Yeah. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, and also for that, email Lindsay to start getting that list, start becoming familiar with that list, start looking up listings, start getting yourself familiar with the expired inventories. Okay, guys. But that's it for today. We'll see you guys soon. Later, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling Portfolio.
Hush.
Thank you for calling the reservations department at Brand Design. Please leave a detailed message, including
Stop, dog.